Hello everyone, hello world. It's Shauna with DisruptApps again, and today I'm going to do a video on web bots and maybe help people who are having problems with their websites being crashed or taken down if they're rolling their own web servers, or if they're managing their own servers through a web hosting company. So recently I switched to a new web hosting company and was having good luck with them, and they have good tech support, but again and again all of my websites were crashing and getting 504s and 503s, and I've had to go back and forth again and again to figure out what was going on. And so I had to go back and forth and do the dance, and they were like, well, you need to do your developers and talk with your developers. And I'm like, well, I am the developer and I write every line of code. And they said, well, you need to find a more experienced developer. And I'm like, whatever, they're just trying to, clear their tickets. But I said, look, there's something deeper going on here, and I need to be persistent and escalate the ticket and find a deeper level or higher level tech support. And they run, this one company uses Nginx or however you say it. And, every few days or weeks they had to go in there, or I had to go in and manually purge the cache. And it just keeps happening again and again and again. So finally, after some more back and forth, looking deeper, I've had these same websites with the same code base on other web hosts and didn't have a problem, but then I moved to this one web host, and well, guess what? I have these problems. So and we went through the whole web workers and PHP workers thing, and that's not the problem because I'm not running any huge scripts, and it's the same problem on both HTML-based sites and PHP-based sites. So with that, this morning I checked my websites and they were down. I got on the phone with the web hosting company and talked directly with tech support, and they had found that it's bots. Bots are the problem. Bots are just flooding the web hosting, my sites. And, I'm on a shared hosting right now because I'm not running anything major, just simple sites right now. And I'm not hitting any databases right now, but just simple static sites are getting taken down by bots. And basically, I got let me show you here. You're looking at the email thread. That's what you've been staring at. But in the previous email, they said that you need to add some code to your htaccess file in your domain or your file folder to stop the bots from hitting your website. And I know that for a while that bots are out there. I mean, you got to know that when you're doing web development, but they've just gotten so bad. And the person that I talked to at the hosting company said, ever since 2023, 2024, these bots and web crawlers have gotten worse and worse. And a big part of it that I'm pretty certain is because of this AI crap. Everyone wants to scrape your data and put it into their large language models. And, I don't want my data being put into that. But anyways, you can see here, this is the code that I was here and highlighted in blue. Basically, that you want to add to your htaccess in your domain, in your folders, on your server. So basically, whatever. Real quick, I'll show you how to do that. So here on my desktop, I have an htaccess file, and let me blow it up here a little bit. So basically, you just want to. I have here, this one I have highlighted here is for a friendly URL thing. So it, takes off the file extension to make nice, pretty URLs. But right here, I probably need to take that out, RewriteEngine On. But basically, you need to drop this into your htaccess file to get rid of all these malicious bots. And when the technician or the tech people reviewed my logs on my server, these are the ones that they said to get rid of, to block. So once you have your htaccess updated, you'll need to go in there and figure out which crawlers you want to block. And in my case, I'm just going to go with what they recommended, but you're going to have to discern on your own which ones you want to block. But you'll need to put them in here between the parentheses. And then depending on if you have an FTP server or if you have access on your web hosting page, you need to put that htaccess into your domain folder or your file for your website. And as you can see here, I have FTP FileZilla, and basically for me, all I have to do is basically drag and drop to the folder. So, and that's all you really have to do. And additionally, I've known about it, but there's also the robots.txt that you just drop a text file into your domain too, and that will help supposedly get rid of these bots. And I didn't do a huge investigation on it, but looking here at my stuff here the investigation that I did, all these bots, you can Google them and find out, but I'm just going to do a quick overview. So there's Surpastabot by a SEO company, Cesnabot, I don't know how do you say, it's a web crawler developed by Senzam, Czechoslovakia, SEMrush, here we go, leading AI-powered marketing platform. SoGo is a Chinese tech company. Ahrefs, all-in-one marketing intelligence platform. MJ12Bot, Pedalbot. So you can see here that there's all these bots that I did a quick Google on. And of course, Amazon bot, it's self-explanatory. Apple bot, self-explanatory. The Claude bot was a very aggressive one that causes a lot of problems. And I believe he said that, and there's like bots out there that are trying to get GitHub repositories, and I don't even have a GitHub repository. And another one was Mozilla bot, but you can see here it's supposed to be Mozilla. It's it's a whole social engineering, to think that, oh, it's Mozilla that's doing it. No, it's Mozilla. And I was looking on one quick forum, and it said if you have a website and spend any time analyzing your logs, you will likely find hacking attempts coming with the user agent Mozilla. Notice the typo. So if you're looking through your logs and you just quick scanning, you're going to say, oh, that's Mozilla. But that's that sneaky crap that they do. So, and then here's the OpenAI. So they're coming out here, they're grabbing your sites. If you own your own website and manage your own site, OpenAI is coming out here and taking your data, taking your site. And if you have stuff that you don't want to have taken and put into their language models, it's pretty sad. You didn't ask for them to do that. And I know the internet is open, and I'm not being an idealist, but anyhow. So just doing some more research. I found this website called Datadome, and I'll put a link here below, and you can see the most popular web crawlers and bots. So I'm not going to go over the page, but I just want you to let you know that it exists, that you can use this as a reference. And if you're a webmaster or webmistress and run your own show, you're going to have to figure out what bots you're going to explicitly block and all that. Now here's another one that's a GitHub page, and this individual has, I'll put a link in here too, has a whole huge list of bots that they compiled, which is really nice that you can go through here, and it's insane. Look how many bots are out here in the wild, just running around, scraping up your data and, running up your server, server usage. And that was the problem with that the gentleman I was speaking with my web host was saying, these bots come in here, and sometimes some websites get attract them like mosquitoes or like a magnet, and they just they burn up your server bandwidth. And it, if you're running a small, if you're running a shared server and you're not doing a virtual private server, or if you don't, if you're not renting out a monthly server and you're just kind of cheapskating, that's going to burn up your bandwidth. And what he was saying is that these bot attacks, these bot hits were just he was saying something to the effect that they were blowing up the Apache log or something like that. So, I have the email right here, and this is, you're reading it as I read it, and it's just going over what they found, the web hosting company, and what they were reviewing, and scanned your Apache error logs. And what we're seeing is a pattern of mod security blocking access attempts to git.config files across multiple domains under DisruptApps.com. These are most likely bot-driven vulnerability scans probing for exposed Git repos, a common tactic to uncover sensitive source code or configuration data. So, I'll just give you can always pause the video and look back at what I have here. And, this is all the techno geek stuff that they provided me, which was really nice to understand. So, it's just going over things of that nature. And, of course, like, their technicians were from the get-go were saying, oh, why don't you use Cloudflare? And I'm like, I don't want to use Cloudflare. But because I hate that crap when you go on a website and you got to do a CAPTCHA and Cloudflare jumps in the middle. And, I don't know much about Cloudflare, but I don't want to use a third party. I just want to serve up pages. And eventually I'm going to go to doing that when I start running my own server. But anyhow. So I just wanted to give this video out here. If you're having problems with your, if you're running your own server, or if you're having a web host company do your manage your sites, and they keep going down, it could be bot attacks. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to do a video in a day or two. But that's why I'm building my own browsing system, because I'm sick of this way the internet is going with web scraping and these bot attacks and AI scraping crap. That I want to build a different type of system that is between like a peer-to-peer system that you can look at people's files and not have to deal with this kind of crap. Well, anyhow, thank you for your time, and I hope you find this information interesting and helpful. Bye-bye.